All right, we are going to be doing our lumbar phase 1 rehabilitation exercises. These are what we recommend for you to perform at home. There are modified ways to do them. If you're having pain with them at home, I do not want you to perform that, as we've talked about. So please let me know and we'll change it, okay? For everyone else that this feels great for, we're going to go through it. The first one is an all-time favorite of anybody who does movement. It is cat-cow. So all we'll be doing is I'm on my hands and knees. If you do have wrist issues, you can go onto your fists like that, but if you can handle this, it's actually really good for your the wrist. Anyways, what we're going to start with is the cat version, which is the rounding of the entire spine. We're really just trying to round like a roly-poly the whole way. I'm going to contract all the muscles in the front side of my body to maximize that rounding. Okay, I'm pushing into the ground to create more room. My core is pulling my pelvis down and forward in that direction, and my neck is tucked into my chest. On the contrary, we are going to let the head come all the way up. I'm going to let my belly relax and fall all the way down to get low back extension. My shoulder blades are going to depress down in this direction, and my head comes up. Nice and controlled. We'll come back to the other position. I'm not going to be doing it super fast. There are times and places to do that, but it's not going to be today. So we're going to be going nice and slow, going through this, starting our day, good energy, good movement, as pain-free as possible, right? All right, so that's the first one that we want to do. The next step of this flow is going to be going onto our back and doing a knee to chest stretch. I'm going to bring my knee as far up to my chest as I can. Breathe. You're going to feel this in the hip flexor a little bit, in the groin muscles a bit. And so where you feel that, you can start to target some breath into it, which will actually make it easier. You can hold this for the full 30 seconds and switch to the other side. The way I prefer to do it, I'll hold for about 5-10 seconds, moving it slightly. I'm going to switch over. Same thing. Breathing deep. I'm going to switch back, other leg, down, and we'll do one more here for the example. You want to find a little discomfort with those stretches, but you're not driving, you shouldn't be sweating. You should feel okay as you're doing them, okay? The next one that we have on here is going to be our hip bridge. This one is double leg, so not a single leg. If you feel super comfortable doing single leg, go ahead and do that. But all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have my feet on the ground, not super far from my hips. I'm going to flex my leg, and really as close as I can get to them without trying crazy hard is where I'm going to leave it. My shoulders are on the mat, low back is on the mat. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to think about my core, or at least being supported through here. I'm not really loose in my core. As we lift, I'm going to be driving with my heels, and you're going to have pressure throughout the entire foot, but I really want to feel the heels. A lot of connection to the ground there. It's going to get more hamstring and more of the glute hamstring connection, which is super, super important as we age. I'm going to go all the way up, hold for a second, back down. Same thing. And back down. Again, you're going to do about 8 reps of that, 3 sets of it, and I like to do it in that same flow. So I'll do that cat-cow, I do the knees to chest, I do 8 reps of this, and then I'd kind of do it all over again. We're going to go over the next one, which is our dead bug progression 3. We are going to be starting very similar to the cat-cow, but on our back. We have the knees up, arms up, and we're going to be doing opposite arm, opposite leg, which is very good for our brain. The difference with this one is you're not extending that leg all the way out. As that leg goes down, this arm goes back, opposite arm, opposite leg, just like this. We are not going to let the foot go all the way on the ground like full support. I want to keep engagement in that muscle. So I'm just having it hover, and then it comes back. Extend, back. Good. And you should be able to do this in a nice flow. Super comfortable, but very controlled. Make sure you're not doing it out of hand. All right. And those 4, I would perform as a like a cycle. So I would do the cat-cow, then I'd do the knee to chest stretch, hip bridge, dead bug, and I would just do all those kind of back and forth, 3 sets total, if you have the time. All right, the next one, it's called hip hinge, stand to sit. No one has a big dowel to put on their back at home nowadays. So really all I want you to get used to is when you go into sit, it shouldn't be like a crumbling into a chair, if that makes some sense. We've all seen people crumble into chairs. We should be doing it in a way that is so like, I could be able to like just hang out here for a little bit and then I'll sit if I want to. But it shouldn't be as I'm going down, like we're going down, you know? All right, the simplicity of this is you should have weight on your heels. I want to feel my glutes and hamstrings as I go backwards. So if I'm super rounded, I'm not gonna find that. I need my chest up, my pelvis is tilted forward slightly. And as I come back, you'll notice that my hips are gonna go back really far. My knees are not bent yet. I'm still just back here. As I start going down, my knees, I've still not gone forward over my toes. I'm down and I'm gonna sit. So I want you to practice this. It's a really good way to start to get some confidence in your movement, but also some strength in the legs and getting used to how we move. Back down and back up. The dowel makes sure that you don't do this. So think about chest up, hips back. As long as you perform in that way, you're gonna be fine, okay? The last one that we go to goes right into this. It's just proper sitting posture. I know that if you're watching this video, this looks worse than this. This one, people assume takes more effort and energy, but it's actually the opposite. It's easier to do for a longer period of time. The simplicity of it, right, is my shoulders, they're not here, they're not here. I want to be in a nice middle, neutral. Shouldn't be tension on either side of it. My head is not here. I'm thinking about the back of my head. Imagine there's a string on it, lifting you up slightly. My low back is not rounded. My tailbone, I teach a lot of postural training to scoliosis patients. The way I describe it to them is like a 3/4 tank. So we're gonna go through that. If you think about your tailbone and you go all the way forward, so that's full tank. Go all the way backwards, that's an empty tank. You go all the way forward. You remember where backwards was, so that means we find half a tank. Now I'm gonna go all the way forward, full tank, back a little bit, I'm at 3/4 tank. That's where I'd like you to be. Most people are way further back than they actually should be. I don't want you to be so far forward that it's intense tension, okay? So back a little bit. And then we should be able to hold this for about 40 to 45 minutes. Once we get past that time, all the tiny muscles that support your spine, they have shut off. They're not involved anymore, which is why I've probably told you to do a simple movement like this that re-engages them so you can handle it again. But if you're not doing that, that means it's time to change positions, because nobody can sit like this all day long, no matter what you're doing, okay? So if you have questions about any of those things within that flow or the things that we talked about, please bring them to me and we'll talk about it, okay? Thank you.